Hi everybody, it's Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network and magazine. But you know that already because you will be watching this in one of three places. You will be either on our main Facebook page, Business Success Network and magazine, or you'll be on our LinkedIn, or you will be on our YouTube channel where all of our podcasts and our live interviews are kept and stored. Now, as always, I'm going to ask you to drop your questions to our latest sponsor. I'm also going to ask you, if you're watching this on replay, to hashtag replay, just so that we know that you're here. We can come and say hello and all that kind of thing. Now, I am going to introduce our next guest. I have to say, and I have warned her, I am a bit of a fangirl when it comes to Erica. And you'll see why, because I'm not going to share her story because that would be just, oh, anyway. We met during lockdown. We did lots of networking together. And I just love the bones off her. Like, genuinely, when you meet these people and you go a bit gooey eyed and a bit wow, that was Erica. So when I had a message drop into my email saying, hey, I want to come and sponsor these awards, I was like, yes. So let me bring her in. Otherwise, it just gets a bit weird. Me sitting here going, hi, Erica. How are you?
Hey, Stacey, I'm good. How are you?
I am brilliant. Like I said, I love speaking to you. We met during lockdown, um, which feels like forever ago now.
It's a
You know,
lifetime.
it is, isn't it? Someone was saying like 2019. That's 5 years ago, and so, but we did. We met online. We got to meet at some face to face networking after. I love your story. I love your business. Um, do you want to start by sharing kind of who you are, your background? You can give as much away as you want, um, and then a bit about your business as well.
I will. Thank you so much for having me. So, I'm Erica Mackay, and my business is the Marketing Detective Agency. And I love helping businesses really find the target client. This is the client who wants, needs, and can afford what you have to offer.
And
And
about your
I
business.
have a passion for doing that based on two of my personality traits. The one is I'm super curious. That's a good word for saying nosy, but I really am. I need
I'm
to
super
know.
curious too.
I need to know everything. I just want to drill down. So when I have a new client or meet with a client and they talk to me about their product, I want to know who wants that, who needs that, and where are they hanging out, and how do we find them? And so I do quite a lot of this detective work to go and get to that answer.
Can I
And
just
then,
say as well, what an amazing name it is. I love this whole detective thing. I just
oh,
love it. I think it's great. It really entices people in.
thank you very much. The second part of my personality that my business talks to is I'm lazy. Again, not a popular opinion, but I am. And so I like to do things the easy way.
Mm.
And marketing can be easy if you find the target client who wants you. And if you don't do that work, it's very, very hard. And the analogy I always give is that giraffes don't eat steak. Now,
Remember this.
yes, and I actually have a podcast with the same name, Stacey. So
Oh,
giraffes don't eat steak. And the reason for that is if you have steak, it doesn't matter what you do to a giraffe. You can slap him in the face, do a little dance, strip naked. Doesn't matter what you do, you are never, ever going to get that giraffe to eat your steak. Never. But if there's a Pride Alliance, all you have to do is stand and wave it, and they will come running.
I love
So,
it.
easy choice. Stand and wave to those who want, need, and can afford you, or do a whole dance, strip, whatever you have to do, and still don't succeed. For me, it's a no brainer.
I love that analogy. I do. And the minute you said it, I thought, yes, yes, I remember this, of course. So, are you a giraffe or do you want a giraffe or do you want a lion? I love that. That is brilliant. I would never call you lazy, by the way. I wouldn't.
I like the
Curious, yes,
shortcuts.
but I think is that lazy or is that smart?
True.
We could really go into this, couldn't we? Erica, you are so we're back for our third year with the awards. You are one of our new sponsors this year, and
I
you're
am.
sponsoring one of our new categories as well. So I love that you're a new sponsor. You're sponsoring our Retailer of the Year. Which, do you know what? It's been fascinating seeing the nominations coming in, getting to meet, like you say, all these um, new businesses that haven't been on our radar before. So it's been really lovely to kind of see all these new people coming into the network and stuff. What was it that made you say, do you know what, let's have a look at sponsorship? Is it part of your marketing plan? Was it something that you saw and thought this could be part of our marketing plan? Or is it just, you want to get up on stage in a gorgeous dress and be
Who
central?
doesn't? Who doesn't want to wear a gorgeous dress, Stacey? And physically give you a hug again because it's been a while,
Oh,
right? So that'll be good.
so
But I think for me, and part of my detective nature is I like to get my hands dirty and do stuff. And so last year, much to my business partner's um, horror is probably the right word, is I took a part-time job at a retailer. I went to go and work at
wow.
Next as a cashier. And the reason being is I really felt I'd been distant from end customers for too long. And I wanted
Right.
to get back into the meat of it. And it was supposed to be just a holiday job over Christmas, but I ended up enjoying it. So I stayed for 6 months. But it was really fascinating seeing how retailers have evolved. My very first job when I was 16 was in a retailer, was Woolworths in South Africa.
I was talking about Woolworths yesterday, actually.
And I worked in the lingerie department, so I was very posh.
Oh.
But in South Africa, it's different. You basically your whole job is to make sure people don't steal. That's what you're doing. Is you're on
Well,
alert all the
and
time.
I'm going to say, I'm just going to divert a little bit here because your background is very different. And this is where I fangirl a little bit because when you say I'm working in a lingerie department and, our job is to stop people stealing. I know what you've done previously. Are we allowed to say, or is it
Yes, we
still?
can say it because it does fall into the story,
It
right?
does. And look, Jessie Lawrence, look at these two beautiful people on my phone. Absolutely, Jessie, and you're about to be awed. So, Erica, tell everybody why, when you mention working in a lingerie shop and stopping people from stealing, do I go, oh, tell people because it's your story to tell.
Well, after I worked in the lingerie shop, I actually decided to help pay my way through university. I worked as a bodyguard for 9 years. So I needed a job that I could do at night and weekends so I could study in university in the daytime, and it fit the bill. So I have to share, I was not a bouncer. So if you think bodyguard, I wasn't the guy standing at nightclubs kicking you out when you drank too much. I
Very
was,
different in South Africa to the UK, I would
yes,
imagine.
in South Africa, you have a gun. It's a little bit different. But I was what's called a close protection officer. So a lot of my work was one to one with senior executives or politicians or anyone who needed protection, but didn't want a signpost saying, look at me, I have a bodyguard. So I would go in as the secretary or the girlfriend and basically just protect them quietly. So that's also where my detective skills came in
Mm.
because you do a lot of preparation work to make sure your client never dies. And I can say I never lost a client. And then the whole night goes, it's again about the laziness. If you do your prep work up front, the night goes smoothly and nothing happens and everyone's happy. And the same with marketing. If you do your prep work up front and put in the work to understand your client, your marketing's easy.
Jessie says, lingerie department in Woolworths. The only lingerie in Woolworths by me was when Jeff bent over the pick mix and showed us his builder's bum. Jessie, terrible. I started to read that thinking it was going to be a really good comment, and then he's just bringing it down.
So back to retailers, if I may.
Yeah.
What I saw in this is how the retail world has changed since my first stint to now. And it's really become a lot more automated. In fact, think about returns, how easy that is now. If you go to a Next, for example,
Mm.
you just give it back and they scan the label. They know everything about you, right? They know when you bought it, how you bought it. They can return the money straight away. It's so easy. But also the consumer behavior has changed in terms of there's a group now who are using cash. I saw a lot of cash flow through the store, but it's a younger group who are very aware that they don't want to be tracked. And so the changing dynamics in the retail industry is fascinating to me. And hence, I was so excited to sponsor this award, because I think retailers have to really be on the ball about understanding the changing dynamics of consumers. You know, we moved, one of my other first jobs was in a bank where we were teaching people how to use the ATM for the first time. That gives away my age. But we had to teach people you don't have to count the money when it comes out, and don't go into the branch, and don't share your PIN, and cover your PIN so no one sees it. And we had to teach people. And then it went cards. And now you pay with your card. And now people pay with their watches. They pay with their phones. It's all moved electronic. And now the switch back, there's this dynamic of people sticking to cash. And how do retailers adapt to that world? And I love that. I absolute nerd about how people behave and how you need to change your behavior.
And there is this dynamic now, isn't there, where consumers want everything now. You know, there's a lot of we all as a nation kind of moan about that Amazon kind of, you know, the big boys and Amazon, but it's so quick and easy.
Yeah, it is.
But when you go onto a website and they say, you know, 5 to 7 working days, you're kind of thinking, oh, okay. And so, yeah, there's so many different angles for retailers. And I think sometimes when we're self-employed and, you know, you just want that service, that sometimes you kind of need to remember that retailers and, you know, businesses with kind of bricks and mortar and all those kinds of things, they have a lot of other things that they have to work out and look at. And yeah, like you say, it's always changing, isn't it? Whether it's seasonal, whether it's, you know, what kind of products they are. It's just, I love the fact that I didn't know about your retail background. I knew about your bodyguard background. I didn't know about your retail background. So it all makes sense now.
And I mean, it was so fascinating working in the store. I was by far the oldest employee, I will say that. Everyone else was kind of students from school. So that was also another dynamic of working with, what are they now? Gen Ys? It's like Gen Zs.
I'm
it's
totally lost.
Different.
I'm totally lost. I found out the other week, I'd grown up thinking I was a millennial. And then I found out they've done these little subcategories, and apparently I'm a geriatric millennial. And
I would refuse.
I was like, I'm what? When I read it, and it is, they've kind of given it that 80, I think 81 to 84 or something. I was like, oh, that totally is me. I just don't want to admit to being a geriatric.
Yeah, the word is wrong. Come on, pick a better word.
I would have put like party millennial. Or something.
That would work.
Not geriatric, but there you go. Yes, so age is just a number, and I'm a geriatric, so don't worry about it, Erica, at all. But yeah, I'm totally lost on the Gen Y, Gen Z. Yeah.
Well, my son, who's 14, he said to me, he's a Gen Alpha. I'm like, oh, it's gone back to Alpha now, has it? He goes, yes.
Right. So that must be my child as well then, because we were just discussing, we've got one going through GCSEs, we've got another one coming up to GCSEs. So we are kind of the mum squad that we're very on track with ours at the moment. So yes, it does make you feel old though, doesn't it, when people say, where are your kids going to be in 10 years? And you think, oh my God. So awards night, Erica, knowing that you are, you know, I've seen you at events, and you've done some guest speaking for us before, and I love it. And you talked about, and I'll never forget this, you know, the stuff that you learn and you train when you were a bodyguard, and you were talking about, you know, you always face the entrance, or you know where the exits are and stuff. Is this going to be you at the awards? Are you going to be scoping?
I can't switch it off. So yes, I will never sit with my back to a door. And if you need to know where the loos are, ask me, because I'll probably have figured it out in 5 minutes.
I love that. So I've got to make sure when I'm doing the table plan that you're not facing away.
I will swap with someone. I just can't do it.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to have you on board, and I think we should definitely do another one of these where we have you back as a guest speaker, because your story and the way you weave it in with your marketing and all that kind of thing is fantastic. So you talked a bit about helping clients to find their ideal client, But who is your lion rather than your giraffe? Have you got an industry that you prefer to work with? Is there a specific kind of person?
So my main industry is insurance because I grew up with insurance marketing and it's legislated. And so perhaps I just love the challenge of working in a very tight box and still being creative and managing to get it done.
And that's
So
fascinating because when there are certain industries, like you say, that are regulated, finance, all that kind of thing. And as a magazine editor, I can tell you they are an absolute nightmare
yep,
because everything has to go back to head office. Everything has to have that little, disclaimer. And it is a nightmare. And even the advertisers will say, I'm really sorry, this is gonna have to go back and forwards and back and forwards.
yep.
And yet you love it.
Well, it's what I know, and I know how to do it. I know how to maneuver it. I know exactly what needs to be done. I can probably get stuff signed off instantly because I've done it so often. I know what not to say, how to say it. That's going to get the compliance team up in arms or the legal team up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
arms. So, because of my background, and my very first corporate career was in insurance, so I know that world well. So predominantly my clients are in the insurance industry, but I do have a sweet spot, and I've been discussing this with my coach. So I've got my sort of my main business, which is insurance, and then I've got my heart business, which is small business owners, because I think they need the same level of marketing strategy, but a lot think they can't afford it, right? Like as soon as you hear the word strategy, you're like, oh, it sounds
It sounds
unreachable.
corporate pricing, doesn't it? I get that. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so it's my heart level where I do work with small business owners to just unpack that. We'll put together that target client profile, and then off you can go and do everything with more clarity. Because if you're talking to a person that you resonate with and you know,
Mm.
they want me, how much easier is your life? And here's a quick tip. A lot of the small business owners that I work with, and my sister is actually one of my clients, when
Lovely.
you look at their target line, when you drill down, and I'm like a little drill sergeant, I'll just ask lots of questions because no one knows your business and your target more than you do. I won't know it, but I know the questions to ask, right?
I love that because you've just stolen my quote there. I
Ah,
say that when I say to people, and I don't know if you've heard this, but when people ask me, should I self-nominate for an award? That is exactly what I say to them is yes, because nobody knows your business like you do. So,
absolutely.
see, great minds.
Great minds. That's why we get on so well. So I'll ask a lot of questions. And a lot of the time for small business owners, their target client is them 10 years ago. The
Yes.
Their target client is the person they wish they'd had, they become the help they wish they had when they started out. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
But when they're talking to themselves like they are now. So it's a disconnect because who you are now is not the person that needs your help. It's who you were then. And it's just that little aha moment of working that through, going, change your language to the language you needed to hear then, not the language you need to hear now, because now is not your target client, then
Mm.
is, if that makes sense.
Honestly, I've got light bulbs going off here. Absolute light bulbs because everyone goes on that journey, don't they? And you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. When I've spoken or I've said, hey, I'm offering marketing audits, I'm offering marketing strategies or social media plans, people go, oh, whoa. And it's because, like you said, if that was me 10 years ago, I wouldn't have looked at an audit. That sounds
No.
scary. And
Yes.
actually that sounds like the kind of the stuff that I left the day job because of, not
Exactly.
to set up on my own. So oh, Erica, you are like a breath of fresh air. For those watching this, if you are not taking notes and writing this down, you're missing a trick because Erica is on fire. Absolutely. So I get it. I get it because 10 years ago I was that mum at home, juggling children, starting a business, slightly Disney obsessed, whatever it was, and it was that real thing of, is this gonna work? So
Exactly.
fantastic. Fantastic. Real food for thought there, Erica. Real food for thought. And obviously, coming to the awards, sponsoring the awards, there's going to be lots of small businesses there. I know that you love to network. You'll be chatting to lots of people. And I think that they will really kind of get what you're saying, get your message, get that marketing detective message out there. I think it's fantastic. I love the idea.
I'm
Um,
very excited.
is there a small business owner? You know, we've mentioned insurance for the kind of the head stuff, for the heart stuff. Is there an industry that you just think is it retailers? Is it, you know, is it somebody else? Is there kind of a niche, or is it just actually it's you 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think it's me 10 years ago. So a lot of the businesses I'm working with are people who left corporate, which is me, right? People who were in corporate and decided, whatever the reason was, this is not for me. I'm going to start out on my own. And so that journey comes with angst because there's a lot you do get in corporate,
Mm,
and you are looked after in terms of equipment, desk, IT support. Like there's a lot that's taken care of. And when you start on your own, you have to take on quite a bit. But it's also then who do I go after? And meeting, and we were discussing this when we started, is when I started my business, I was also just all over the place. You know, I was trying to do everything for everyone because I was just trying
mm.
to find my feet. Where now that I'm clear on what I love doing, and what I love doing is this marketing strategy piece. I'm don't love doing. I can do it. Facebook ads, web design. All I can do it. I don't love it.
Yeah,
Don't love it. What I love is this upfront piece. I love seeing the clients glow, the aha moment. I love digging deep, finding all the nuggets. And so now I'm doing what I love, and it makes me happy. And so this is what I want to help people get to quicker. Just find what you love, and then work becomes a joy. You will attract people who love your energy, because
mm.
who wants to work with a grouchy Gus, right? Like no one does. So if you are happy and enjoying it, you attract people who love your energy and want to work with you. So it opens so many doors if you can just narrow down your focus into doing what you love for the people you love working with.
Love it. Amazing. I cannot wait to see you at the awards where, like you said, we can have a proper hug. We can ching ching a glass of something fizzy.
Absolutely.
And we can just catch up because I am I just in awe of you, Erica, to be honest.
Oh,
You know I am. I said I'm a fangirl. And I just, yeah, you are incredible. Now, obviously, people can meet you at the awards. You're in the BSN UK group, but where can they find you if they're thinking, right, I'm in, I am Erica's lion, she's wiggled that stake, and here we are. Where can they get hold of you? What's the best place to find you?
so I'm on LinkedIn. If you do hashtag marketing detective, you will find me. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so you can find me on LinkedIn. I do have a website, themarketingdetectiveagency.com, or you're very welcome to listen to my podcast, Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.
I love that. I'm going to go off and find it now. Jesse Lawrence runs a podcast called Newton's Nuggets. You would be
I
an
know.
amazing guest on there
I've
if you
been
haven't
a guest on
seen it.
there.
See, this is the thing, and we definitely need to get you on the BSN one as well now. So I love it. I love the whole podcasting thing. It's really since lockdown, it's really exploded in the business community, I think. And whilst there are some amazing celebrity business owner podcast ones there. Look, Jess is quick to tell me that we've had Erica on. She was amazing. There we go.
I
Of
shared my
course.
catfish story with Jessie, so
And
that
that's
was
another,
that's another
see,
thing.
there's just so many catfish stories. And actually, and this is the thing about when you connect with someone, when you listen to their expertise, I remember that catfish story, and I've talked about it to people as well. Like you can see between that and Paul Newton and Jesse and his nuggets and mental theft and all that kind of thing, you kind of start to see these scammers, these
Yeah,
catfishers, and I'll be honest, I hardly read my inbox now on LinkedIn because you just think, oh my God, if it's not an African prince wanting to give me £2 million, which, if it was that, hey, you could give me 1 million, and I'd be happy, but it's not, is it? And all these other things. And you start to notice these things and
yeah.
wow, incredible. So yes, we are definitely going to get you back for the catfish story, if not your whole life story. You could write a book, Erica. Write a book.
I'm almost finished. Almost finished.
Yes, I love it. This is brilliant. Oh dear. So I've kept you talking for 25 minutes, Erica, and I said around 20, but I knew half of this would just be me going, oh, amazing.
Oh, and you've always been so amazing and such a good support to me, Stacey. I absolutely adore you.
Oh, bless you. It's just lovely, isn't it? We don't see each other for so long, but we jump in and we spent 10 minutes talking before we'd even
We
gone on
did.
air. So yes, we must catch up sooner. We're not too far away. I think a
Oh,
coffee date's in order, definitely.
deal.
Right, folks. I've loved every minute of the last 30 minutes talking to Erica. If you're watching this on replay, as I said, hashtag replay. Erica, do go on and drop your links and things as well so that people can find you a lot easier. And if you are watching this on replay and you're just catching the end and you're thinking, lingerie department, pick a mix, what is going on? You need to rewind it. You need to go back because there is lots and lots of top tips on this. Erica, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
I'll see you soon, Stacey. Bye.